Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that might surprise you. We're going to explore how our tiny everyday habits don't just affect our health, but can actually be a secret weapon or a major roadblock when it comes to learning English.
So, let's get right into it. Have you ever had one of those days where you leap out of bed just full of energy and ready for anything? And then, other days where just opening your eyes feels like a huge battle? Well, it almost always boils down to the little choices we're making day in and day out.
And this feeling right here, this is from a guy named Ryan. And I think we've all been there, right? Feeling totally overwhelmed. This is going to be the starting point for our explainer today, where we'll look at two totally different ways to live a day, all through the eyes of two friends, Ryan and Christine.
Okay, so first up is Ryan. And his day, well, it doesn't really start with a bang. It starts with that dreaded sound of the snooze button. He's already feeling behind from the moment he wakes up, and we're about to see exactly why.
So Ryan's alarm is set for 6 a.m., but he says he's just way too tired to actually get up. So what does he do? He hits the snooze for a whole hour. He's not really getting good sleep, just delaying the inevitable. Sound familiar? That one little decision totally sets the chaotic tone for his entire day. And that tired start, it's like the first domino to fall. It kicks off this whole chain reaction of not-so-great choices. It's a really powerful reminder of how one little bad habit can just pull others along with it, creating this cycle that drains you of the energy you need for, well, everything, especially something like learning.
And you can see that whole cycle right here. It's fascinating, isn't it? Because he's so tired, he rushes out the door and grabs a candy bar and a soda for breakfast. That sugar crash leads him to grab fast food for lunch, and then again for dinner. And then to try and relax, he goes out with friends at 10 p.m., gets to bed at 2 a.m., which of course is exactly why he's exhausted when his 6 a.m. alarm goes off. It is a tough cycle to break.
But what if there's a totally different way to approach the day? Let's bring in Ryan's friend Christine. Her routine is a world away from his, and it shows how making intentional choices can create a completely different reality.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Just look at that first hour. Ryan's morning is all about reacting. It's chaotic and stressful. But Christine's, it's proactive. It's structured and calm. She is literally setting herself up for a win before Ryan has even managed to get out of bed.
So, what's her secret? How does Christine build a day that leaves her feeling energized instead of drained? Well, it's not one big thing. It's a bunch of small positive habits that create this amazing upward cycle of energy, exactly the kind of fuel you need to go after your goals.
And her healthy choices kick in from the very first minute she's awake. It's not some huge complicated morning ritual. It's just a big glass of water. So simple, right? But that one act gets her body going and sets a positive tone right away.
And you can just see how the momentum builds from there. Each step sets up the next one for success. Waking up early gives her time. The water wakes up her system. A little exercise gets the energy flowing. A good breakfast fuels her brain. And by packing a healthy lunch, she avoids that afternoon temptation for fast food. It's brilliant. And when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this. This right here is the foundation for their entire day. Christine gets a full 8 hours of sleep. Ryan gets half that, only 4. That single difference is a game changer. It affects everything, their food choices, their ability to focus, and all the mental energy they have for things like learning.
Okay, so we've seen how their routines are just worlds apart. But this whole story came out of a conversation, and hidden inside those conversations were some really awesome practical English phrases. So let's switch gears a little and build our own toolkit with phrases you can actually use.
Feeling confident with a new language is all about being able to handle real-life, everyday stuff. And these phrases are perfect for that. They're simple, they're clear, and they let you do everything from grabbing a coffee to stopping by the bank. They just get the job done.
And this phrase right here brings us right back to our two routines. This is what Christine does before bed. Instead of going out or playing video games like Ryan, she takes time to wind down. It's such a key habit for letting your brain relax, which not only helps you get to sleep, but it actually helps your mind process and store everything you learned that day.
So here's the thing. The big takeaway here isn't that you have to become Christine overnight. Let's be real. That's a lot to ask. The real question is about finding just one small positive change you can make. So what about you? What's one tiny thing you could do tomorrow? Maybe it's that glass of water in the morning, or maybe it's taking 10 minutes to wind down. That one little choice could be the start of a whole new cycle, one with a lot more energy for everything you want to do. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.